your spit from my face, wipe these tears from my eyes. Now is the time for me to rise to my feet. Wipe your spit from my face, wipe these tears from my eyes. I've got to take my life back, one chance to make it right.
Hi, my name is Jimmy the Irish Hyena Johnson. I have over 30 years experience in the martial arts, and I came up with a style called F.A.N.G.S based on all the techniques that I've learned over the years from multiple different styles. F.A.N.G.S stands for fighting, angles, neutralization, grappling, and submission. By the end of these DVD series, you'll know how to do all these techniques. Today we're going to learn about eggs. EGGS stands for eyes, gouging, groin, and sprint to safety. That's something that you can easily remember if you're in any kind of combat situation where you're being attacked. Just think of eggs, and they'll come back to you. Eyes, gouge, groin, sprint to safety. These are techniques that can be used against much larger opponents by much smaller opponents. Remember, not even Arnold Schwarzenegger can build muscle tissue over his eyes. I'm going to show you how to take control of the situation, how not to be a victim, how to escape all these situations and reverse them for your favor. The greatest advice I've ever received in martial arts was from Bill Superfoot Wallace. And what he told me was, there's always going to be somebody bigger than you, there's always going to be somebody stronger than you, there's always going to be somebody faster than you, but under no circumstances does anybody ever have to be more sneaky than you. So be sneaky in your technique and get her done.
I will be high. Now is the time for me to rise to my feet.
Technique number one, how to escape a front choke. When it grabs, raises her hands, kicks to the groin, attacks the eyes, falls with a headbutt, and escapes to safety.
During the choke, your opponent is relying on his grip strength and outstretched arms to maintain the choke. The strength of your back and shoulder muscles is greater than the applied force of your opponent's hold, so it doesn't take much to break his grip.
And the closer your hands are to your own neck, the greater the leverage.
Technique number two, the two-finger push. There we go. What she's doing here is she's taking her two fingers, putting it above the collarbone, below the Adam's apple, pushing and rotating. You rotate to whatever arm you're doing. So if it's left-handed, the motion is like this. One more time, please. The fingers go right in here, right above the collarbone and below the Adam's apple. She's going to push in as she rotates in the direction of her same arm and then run to safety.
Be yourself, by yourself, stay away from me.
Things she's going to do is she's going to put her hands around his arm, turn her head to the side towards his elbow, stomp forward as she pulls down to create space, elbow back to the liver, grab his thumb, push and twist and go to safety. Follow up with a knee if he doesn't let go.
Wipe these tears from my eyes. Now is the time for me to rise.
The opponent has her mounted. What she's going to do is she's going to make sure that her elbows are close to her body, not allowing him to get his knees up in her armpits. She wouldn't have any leverage that way. So what she's going to do here, she's going to trap the arm, reach across and grab with this, and she's going to make sure that his foot on that same side is trapped, thus nullifying this whole side of his body to bridge out and stop himself from being reversed. She's going to explode up with her hips, spinning around, instantly eye gouging, follow it up with rapid punches to the solar plexus, groin, and escaping.
I've got to take my life back, one chance to make it right.
This is how you do a rear naked choke from somebody who's attacking you. Opponent reaches, she's going to do a parry. She's going to slide in, taking your hand here, putting it in the center of his neck. Most people are taller. She's going to take her foot, bending him down, coming around, putting her hand on her own bicep, putting this hand here to protect herself from headbutts, and she's going to squeeze with this hand, and she's going to take her shoulder blades and try to touch them together. So it'll be like this. The attacker reaches for her. She's going to do a little parry, pushing him off his center line. Then she's going to reach up, putting the center of her arm in his neck. He's taller. She's going to take her foot and break him down, right in the corner of his knee. Stepping around, putting her hand on her own bicep, reaching back with this hand, putting her hand on the back of his head, preventing him from headbutting. And then she's going to squeeze with this arm as she pulls back with her shoulder blades, putting the opponent to sleep.
Working much like a nutcracker, your forearm and biceps apply pressure to your opponent's carotid arteries. Located on either side of the trachea, these two arteries are the only way to get blood to the brain. It can take less pressure than squeezing an orange to stop the flow of blood to the arteries. And with no blood flow, the brain shuts down almost instantly. Fight over.
This is the F.A.N.G.S series for striking, and I'm going to show the proper way to execute a tie kick. People want to step into their kicks. The kick. There's not a big range of motion right there. You're not going to get enough power. What you want to do is step off to the side, approximately a 45-degree angle from the kick. And as soon as you feel that torque in your hip, that's when you want to let it fly. So, step to the side, take your hand here, throw it behind. As this hand crosses forward, block your face, and release the kick. Hit with your shin, not your instep. And that's how they do a tie kick. Okay, what she's going to do is she's going to step off at a 45-degree angle, making her hips twist. And as soon as she feels the tension in her hips, that's when she's going to release the kick. Nice. She's going to take her left hand as she throws the kick. Protect her face. She's going to lift it up as she takes her right hand and throws it behind her and rotates the hip for maximum efficiency in the kick. One more time, please. And that's how you do a tie kick.
The kick's power comes from the torque generated by the rotation of the hips. It's the same principle that cracks a whip. Turning the hips just a few degrees forces the foot to travel a much greater distance and creates a lot of speed as it does. The longer the leg and quicker the rotation, the faster the kick. And unlike karate, Muay Thai fighters are also taught to strike with the hard bone of the shin. A Muay Thai kick can generate roughly the same force as a baseball bat, enough to crack a rib or a leg.
I'm going to teach you a hand technique called the eye flick or the dragon snap. The fastest technique in martial arts with the hands is the back fist. What we're going to do here is we're going to do the back fist, but we're going to do it with a twist. We're going to use two fingers like this in a relaxed manner to flick the eyes and run for safety. It's done as follows. The first thing she's going to do is put her hands up in the defensive position. From there, she's going to flick of the wrist, aim at the eyes. And that's all there is to it. Trust me, it doesn't look like much, but it's the fastest technique you can do, and it's going to blind your opponent. He's going to cover up like this. That's going to allow you to do some groin strikes from there and run. Most important thing is to run and get to safety. Except the choke. She's going to do rapid Wing Chun punches to the Adam's apple. That's going to ruin anybody's day. Right there.
The effect is similar to that of continually slamming a battering ram against a door. No matter how strong, it can only sustain so many blows before it collapses.
I'm gonna have my voice be heard and bring meaning to this life.
I shoot in. She wraps around the neck, grabbing my neck around the Adam's apple, securing her wrist like this, and the motion is, all she's going to do is arch her back and lift up. And that's all there is to it. Under her throat, grabbing my own wrist as I lift up. I'm going to show you how to choke somebody using their own t-shirt against them from a front choke. I reach forward to grab her. Second, my hands go on here. She's going to reach up, grab deep into my shirt or my collar. Twist and pull. Following up with a headbutt to the bridge of my nose.
I will be on.
What I'm going to do, as soon as this arm comes in here, I'm going to take my leg and I'm going to slide it in here. Pulling this arm, taking this and putting it in here. Pulling down and then pulling them ahead.
The move gets its power from the pressure exerted by your legs. The first leg imparts pressure to the carotid artery. The second leg, working in conjunction with your arms, optimizes that pressure, transforming you into a human vice grip. If your opponent doesn't tap out, he'll pass out. Much longer and permanent brain damage can ensue.
I'm going to show you now how to do a quick strike to the knee. I reach up, I go to choke, she frees, she kicks to the knee, she frees herself. If you've ever been kicked to the knee, it doesn't feel good.